Morning. Okay. So what we're going to do today is go through Picklist and give you guys some examples of some fun ways to use the Picklist. The three big things I want everyone to take out of this for today. The first would be if you can quickly navigate a Picklist and select items in a very fast way, it's going to save you a ton of time. If you can quickly load and save lists and templates with a Picklist, it's going to save you a ton of time. And then being able to build your own libraries of those lists. So let's get into it. First thing I want to show you is a Picklist. And here's an example of a T-visit. And in this activities log, you can see clearly that this is a Picklist because of the buttons located in the lower left-hand corner. We have a plus button, an edit button, a delete button, a freeform button, a template button, that's going to be an important one later, and then just some navigation. So let's go through each of these buttons and see what happens. So if I want to add a activity to this Picklist, I'm going to click the add button. And when I click that, it's going to bring up a list of a couple different things. Some favorites I can save here or all the items. Now this list was generated from RainTree, and we do manage this list. If you have ideas of things you'd like to see in here, you can always submit those to me and I can get those added for you. We can't edit this list for each individual because it would get too big. But let's say we want to add some exercises for this individual. Let's use shoulder, for example. So we're going to just type in shoulder. And we can see we got some things in here. Let's do some isometric exercises for this person. And I want to do all of these, and so I'm just going to click on the isometric exercises here. And at the bottom here, there's a little save feature, or as you identify there, I can always hit F10 to save. So I'm going to click F10, and voila, I have some shoulder exercises. Now this isn't a great complete list because all this is going to show me is just the exercises. It doesn't tell me anything about how I want to build that. In an activities tab, that's important. So let's label this. I'm going to add one more thing here quick. I'm going to label this as a therapeutic exercise. So I'm going to add that title. And you can see that came in below where I want it. So I'm just going to use these little arrows and I'm going to arrow up. And now that title is on the top. Then I want to make sure that I say what was done at this certain visit today for this activities tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multi-select all of these items so I can fastly tell it that instead of clicking on each individual item. So to do that, I'm going to hold my shift key and then I'm going to move my mouse down, and I could individually click on each item then, or I could click on the very last item and everything in the middle is going to be highlighted. So I did that just by holding the shift key and then pressing on the mouse to click each button. Let's say I only wanted a couple items. I could do that as well. I could hold the control key, and by clicking control, now just each item that I click on will be highlighted. Okay? It's a little different if you can notice the difference between the shift key, or again, if I select one item and hold shift, if I were to click on the top item, everything in the middle is selected. Okay? All right. So now that everything's selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that all these items were done today. And I can do that by clicking on the done today item or column. If I double click on that, it's going to give me that everything was done today. Okay. I also want to tag a CPT code to these because that's going to be really good for review. If someone reviews my note, it's going to be very clear to them to say that each one of these shoulder exercises was in fact billed under the CPT code therapeutic exercise. I'm going to double click on that. I get another pick list that comes up. Okay. And in this pick list, it's just CPT codes. But I'm going to click that first one, therapeutic exercise. And again, I'm going to hit save or F10. And now each item has been selected for therapeutic exercise. Okay. Let's say I did some reps and sets of these isometric exercises. So I'm going to quickly select them one more time by using my shift and click feature. And I'm going to click on the sets, double click, and then I'm going to say we did 3 sets. And you can see that the column automatically changed when I hit enter there. So I could just hit enter again. And now my reps, let's say I did 10 reps. And I've quickly then added 3 sets of 10 for each exercise that I've selected. Okay. It's important that we document time with our CPT codes for our billing. but I don't have to document time for each individual item. I like to have this label in this header because now I can say this whole set took me 30 minutes to do. And in the billing department, we're going to be able to see down here in the total time that 30 minutes has been allocated to the CPT code 97110 or therapeutic exercise. And it's very clear to any reviewer to say that this 30 minutes is associated with all of these exercises because all the codes are tied to it. Okay, so that's a quick way to navigate, adding exercises to a pick list. I could delete items by selecting them and using the red delete button. I want to delete these two exercises because I didn't do them. I can edit any of these as well. So let's say today, instead of doing isometric, I wanted to say, oh, actually that was, active range. Well, I could just click on this edit button, edit row, and it's going to come up with this tab, and I could type anything I want in here. So maybe instead of isometric, I just want to say shoulder abduction, and I can click OK, and now that's going to change. Okay. So if you're searching a pick list for an item that's not there, you can always just add something that's close and edit it. Okay. And then if there's an edit that you want changed for the future, again, please let us know and we can get those changed for you. All right, now I really like this little exercise set that we've created, so I want to be able to call upon it a lot quicker than what I just did. So I'm going to use the template feature and I'm going to save this exercise set as a template. And this is hopefully going to save folks a ton of time moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into this little template button here. I'm going to click on it. And there's a couple options. And the one I'm going to select is that I'm going to save this current set of exercises as a template. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to label it. And this want to say stage 1 shoulder strength. Okay. This first dial is selected, which says save for current user, which is me. I'm going to click OK. And it says that the Picklist template has been saved. So let's say I was starting from scratch and all of this was deleted and I had nothing here in my day. But I knew that this was my first day with the shoulder and I wanted to do some shoulder exercises. Well, I could come back down into this little template loader. And now instead of saving, I'm going to load a template. And you can see in here, there's a lot of group templates that someone has set up already for everyone to use. But I could also click on this button to say show personal templates only. And now I have a couple that I've created. This was a joke earlier, so that I've created for this presentation. But let's find the one that we just made, which was called show stage 1 shoulder strength right here. Click on that and I'll hit load. And voila. All those exercises that I saved before, including the edits, including the time, including the done today, and including the CPT codes, all come forward for us. It's a wonderful way to save time. And I could load multiple of those at the same time. Let's say I wanted all of these rotator cuff ones, and you can see they're going to all load for me. And now with all this information, I can edit what's important and what's not in here. Okay. And again, I can also very quickly delete anything by using my shift button. I can use my arrow key here. I can arrow up all the way to the top and then hit delete. And everything is gone. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the add button feature, the edit feature, the delete feature. The freeform button, if we click that, it just allows us to add something for free. So let's say testing freeform, and you're just going to get a blank row, and then you can always click in here and edit it that way. So just another way to edit something. Okay. So that's Picklist. That's how we navigate it. That's how we load our templates, and that's how we can build libraries of different exercises. But Picklist exists in lots of other places as well. So I just want to show you a couple other examples of where they are and how I've been using them and how everyone can use them to make their day faster. Let's look at goals for a second. Let's say we had no goals in here. We can always add goals by, again, clicking the add button, and we can go through our entire list of goals. Sorry. We can click on various goals here. Not all goals are created equal here, and so you can always add your own goals by clicking the save button, and then you can edit these goals, right? So we can go in here, we could edit and say, best goal ever. Okay. We can make goals, again, by quickly selecting them. We can make them long or short-term goals by just clicking. We can change the time frame for all those short-term goals. Let's say these are 3-week goals. Okay. And then again, I could always save this set as a template. And I do that simply by clicking here and going Save Current Set as a template. Okay. Or maybe I already have some goals loaded that I like, and there happens to be some in there, so I'm going to load the template. Here are some pain goals under the personal goals that I have. If I deselect this, you can see there's multiple goals in here already. Let's click on the hip goals and load those. And there we go. We have goals that are specific to a hip that have short and long-term ranges, and we can edit these to match our patient. So a very quick way to do that. All right. One other quick thing, and then I'll let you guys go, which is just that we have Picklist under the objective exams as well. And those can be really useful for different things. This happens to be under the neuro exam, but let's say we're going to add a shoulder exam. Add that in here. And let's say we have a certain set of exercise or special tests that we do each time we work with someone's shoulder, which I happen to have. I can load that and load a template. Again, we have shoulder special tests that are negative. It's a personal one. I'm going to load that quick, and you'll see that these various special tests that I do for every shoulder patient come in. It says that we tested them bilaterally and that they were negative, and I can just quickly change any of these buttons to reflect what happened in that eval. Okay. All right, so that's a quick overview of Picklists and how we can use them. There's also a handout that's associated with this video. So if you have other questions, feel free to give me an email, and I'd be happy to walk you through how we can use Picklist to save us a bunch of time. Thank you.